You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. New Clark City was placed on lockdown Thursday. The athletes' village inside the complex will be used as a site for the 14-day quarantine period of the 45 repatriates from China. New Clark City is located 30 minutes away from the Clark International Airport, where the plane carrying the repatriates will land from China. The Bases Conversion and Development Authority says there's a polyclinic operated by the Philippine General Hospital inside New Clark City. The polyclinic is just 2 minutes away from the athletes' village. BCDA says the Philippine Sports Commission has recommended the postponement of the 2020 ASEAN Games, as a majority of the sporting events were scheduled to be held in the New Clark City. Meantime, a lawmaker wants more funds for the health department to address the threat of the novel coronavirus. Is the government prepared for such health emergencies? Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have House Committee on Health Chairwoman Angelina Helen Tan. Congresswoman, good to meet you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
You know, napanood ko po kayo during the question hour, and you were one of the first, I believe the first to speak to Secretary Duque. May mga tanong po noon. Let me just start with this. Bakit daw kailangan pa ipatawag si Secretary Duque at a time that lumalabas nga itong outbreak? But what did you get from that question hour from Secretary Duque?
Well, during that time, we just want to know kung ang Department of Health ba ay ready, they have protocols or guidelines in place na cascaded in the ground. At we want to confirm din kung meron bang positive talaga at ano talaga yung mga ginagawa nila. But during that time kasi, wala tayong positive case. The day after, doon nagkaroon ng positive case. And then doon na lang parang naalarma lahat ng tao kasi since may positive case and imported case to, parang tiningnan na natin ano na talaga yung detalye ng ginagawa nila. So dyan na lumabas yung mga lapses, no? Doon sa coordination and communication within the Department of Health and the Inter-Agency Task Force, no, for emerging infectious diseases. So I think lumabas naman during the investigation in the Senate.
So lapses talaga. You admit there are lapses?
Yeah, merong lapses. Ako personally alam ko kasi I was informed from the ground na medyo natagalan yung interim guidelines. It's supposed to be the guidelines coming from the Department of Health na ibababa mo sa regional office ng Department of Health. At ang regional office, sila magka-cascade down to the provinces, provinces down to the municipality, municipality down to the barangays.
Correct.
Ito napakahalaga kasi nakasaad dito yung mga tools na pwede mong tingnan paano ka magde-decide. No? Halimbawa, merong pumunta sa isang facility, nilalagnat, at ano ba ang itatanong niya doon sa pasyente? Diba? At doon malalaman mo, siya ba patient under investigation na or patient for monitoring pa lang siya. So ito, importante sa mga health workers natin in the ground kasi as I've said before, it's a legal reference. Diba? Kasi ibig sabihin ito yung tinitingnan natin kasi ang DOH ang nagsiset ng protocol and guidelines, especially in times of emergency na yung ganitong sitwasyon.
At nagkulang sila doon. It was late. Kumbaga.
I find it late kasi ang sinasabi nila, initially ang ginamit nilang reference is yung guidelines ng SARS and MERS-CoV. But nung nagbigay na ng information ang WHO, I think dapat mabilis nilang na-convene within the Department of Health na isulat at ganun din na review ng EXICOM nila at napirmahan ng presidente kasi ng secretary kasi during the time sa question hour tinanong ko ang nasabi ko pa unsigned unsigned interim guidelines kasi wala talagang sign kasi parang few hours before that may nag-message na sa akin in Facebook at tinanong ko siya kung meron na ba kayo dyan in Catanduanes na natanggap. That's in Catanduanes. Sabi niya wala pa. So I'm sure, but when we asked the director who's present, sabi naman niya, signed na. Then I asked again the following day, I think my office asked for a copy. And then, medyo natagalan pa, and then, yun na ibigay nila. But that was, I think, January 21 pa. It's just that I think yung signing medyo natagalan.
Okay. And it needs to be cascaded, you're right. From the Department of Health, going down to the
Down to the
barangays. Tama po. Meron
yes.
ho yan talagang protocols. There needed to be guidelines set here. So, moving forward, number one, yung pinakahuling balita po dito ay yesterday, instead of in Nueva Ecija, there was talk about saan ba talaga yung quarantine facility? Because pag paghahandaan mo po ito, kailangan meron ka talagang quarantine facility. So sabi nila, posibleng Nueva Ecija. And then they said, okay, let's do it in New Clark City, dun sa Athletes Village. Do you agree? Was that a good idea?
Yeah, although hindi ko nakita yung sa Fort Magsaysay, no, yung rehabilitation center doon, but sa picture lang, drawing, pinakita nila sa amin, several complex yung meron sila. Pero syempre, may mga parameters kan dapat i-satisfy for a quarantine facility, no? Like yun, kung sobrang init at crowded siya and wala yung basic necessities, supply on water, electricity, and everything, CR, I'm happy that DCDA offered the facility, no? If not, kasi maghahanap pa din palang tayo ng facility. Yeah, I agree on na dito dalhin sa Athletes Village.
We have a video of that. I don't know if we'll be able to play it. No, I'm not sure if it's ready. But our correspondent, David Santos, went there the other day doon sa Nueva Ecija. And he showed us that gawa naman talaga yung mga kwarto, pero walang tubig.
Oh, that's what I'm telling you, the most basic necessity na dapat in place.
Right, is water, and there has to be some sort of good ventilation doon sa lugar. Hence, inilipat po sa New Clark City. So, good idea.
Yeah.
That's something that they should do. Because in fact, it's possible, Congresswoman, that on Saturday, the first batch will finally arrive. What are your thoughts? I mean, kailan ho ba lumabas ang, siguro let's put it doon sa January 21 or 22 or 23 yung lockdown doon po sa Wuhan. From that time, obviously, marami na pong Pilipino ang gustong umuwi from Wuhan. So fast forward to today, February 7, so lagay na po natin 2 weeks later, posible pong dumating na yung mga Pilipino. Is it a little too late? Or is it okay? Kasi kailangan tayong maghanda.
Yeah, for me kasi, hindi yung lockdown yung hinintay ko. Yung position ko dyan, nung nagkaroon na ng advisory that there's an outbreak in Wuhan, and alam nating maraming Pilipino in China, especially the OFWs natin, or marami nagpupunta, dapat noon pa lang meron na tayong travel restriction, nagkaroon na kaagad ng mabilisang coordination ang Department of Health sa overseas workers, sa DFA, kung papaano natin ititrace and aalamin. Definitely, sila ang una mong aalamin. Ano ba ang sitwasyon ng mga Pilipino sa China, diba? Especially in Wuhan or Hubei province, diba? So ako, ganun ang initial reaction ko. Alamin, coordinate ako, how many Filipinos do we have there? And then, mag-coordinate na tayo doon sa ating embassy doon at i-offer kaagad yung ating repatriation papunta dito. Kasi alam natin to outbreak to, lalawak at lalawak ito.
So there should have been more foresight.
Yeah.
Forward thinking. But you agree that it's time na iuwi na sila dito?
Yeah. Kasi hindi natin ma-determine at this time until when. Diba? Although sinasabi nila, ang reference nila, from the time ng SARS or MERS-CoV, mga 3 or 6 months the most, nagsasubside siya, diba? So, ako naman, ang tinitingnan ko, kung may ganyang problema na hindi natin alam, walang kasiguraduhan, dapat mas aggressive ang ating action.
Okay, and we're looking at what? A possible 2 billion, 40 million in supplemental budget for the Department of Health to contain this outbreak. We're going to talk about that after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, House Committee on Health Chair, Congresswoman Angelina Helen. 2 billion 40 million. You said you were with the President last Monday.
Monday,
and
in the briefing.
Ang dami pong tanong dito, saan pupunta ang pera and what would be the priority?
Yeah. Same question dun sa akin, no? So I filed a bill based on the request of the Department of Health. 2 billion 40 million, no? But ang nakalagay lang kasi doon for personal protective equipment
Right.
and the repatriation of OFWs. Sa pangkasalukuyan, ang tinitingnan natin yung gaps, no? Like for example, in testing. Kung makita niyo po sa report, meron pa tayong pending na 127. Hindi lumalabas ang resulta. And which I'm sure mas madami pang naghihintay in the ground na hindi pa na-record sa central.
Hindi pa
no?
nadala yung sample.
Hindi pa nadala ang sample. Kasi gaano kabilis ka kumukuha ng sample at gaano kabilis mo nadadala yon from the time na ang pasyente ay pumunta sa isang facility. So meron ako isang alam na case na itawag sa akin, nandun sa facility, up to now, as of yesterday, noon pa lang pinuntahan ng DOH personnel to get a swab. So I asked, bakit DOH personnel, hindi ba sila equipped to get a sample? So things like
That's
that,
a good
no?
question. Aren't
Yeah.
they?
That's one of the thing na gusto natin pag-usapan. Yun yung mga challenges. Are we actually ready? Hindi lang doon kasi sa pag sinabi mong response, parang ang tinitingnan lang natin ay may facility ba tayo na pagdadalhan. Sa akin, ang pagtingin ko, ang kahandaan dapat, una, may knowledge and skills ba yung mga tao na key para makatulong ng departamento, di ba? At alam natin, hindi lang yan yung mga nasa hospital base. Ang pinakamahalaga yung nasa ground.
Right.
So, mukhang nagulat din sila. So
that's true, ha? So meron kayong kilala na napunta sa ospital and what, 24 hours later pa nakuha yung kanyang swab?
Not 24. I think that's 72 hours.
3 days before they took a swab.
Yeah.
Because bakit daw kailangan ng DOH? Is that what?
Yun ang naitanong ko. Sabi ko, bakit hindi ba marunong? May na-mention sa akin na walang tiwala sa sarili na tama ang makukuha. Things like that. Plus, yung means of transporting the specimen. Diba? I asked them, how do you transport that? You need a viral media. Do we have a viral media all over the Philippines na pwede? Doon mo ilalagay siya, supposed to be. Kung sa laboratory nakakakita ka ng mga disk, doon mo siya ilalagay. And syempre, may requirement ba siya? Those are the things na tinanong ko. May temperature ba siya na kailangan? Blah, blah, blah. And then you have to bring it to RITM. In RITM, it will take time because nakapila na yung mga testings. No? So ang turnaround time talagang sobrang bagal. Napakabagal kung mapapansin nyo po, diba? Kasi lahat doon pumupunta.
Right.
And then tinanong ko kung up to this day, meron na ba tayong na-identify na facility kasi that's one of the discussion during the briefing in the Malacanang. We only have our ITM.
That's it. Yun pa rin talaga.
Yeah. Can we at least map ano pang mga facilities ang may available PCR machine? Ito yung ginagamit kasi na testing machine. Most likely, ito yung mga training hospitals, ito yung mga Apex hospital natin meron. Pero ginawa na ba nila na mag-communicate at makiusap at least kahit private hospital and the government will support this hospital. So
Right.
I was informed na as to this morning, RITM pa rin yung ating ano. So medyo ang daming problema. So parang makikita mo talaga na...
It's good you're looking into that because, pwede naman hong napakadaling sabihin that you're right, 127 under pending results.
Yeah.
And then you're right, nakapila nga talaga yan sa RITM. And how many in a day can they actually test? Hindi ho ba?
Yeah.
But the good news is that it need not be brought to Australia anymore because
Yes,
the kit
that's a good
arrived
news.
Saturday, I believe, last week. Okay.
But kung tingnan mo, no, baka yung pagdala sa Australia mas mabilis ang resulta kumpara doon sa Pilipinas, diba?
Yeah.
So,
or
yung
maybe
mga-
there needs to be something that needs to be done.
Yes.
Half could be sent in Australia, half can be tested
Or
here
we
in
can tap,
RITM.
I think, other facilities here. I think merong mga facilities tayo with PCR machine.
Okay.
It's just a matter of coordination and I think maging clear lang on protocols. Yung 2.40 billion pesos kasi, tiningnan namin, ano ba ang priorities? Yun lang mask, yung hand sanitizer, or
And
ano
what
pa?
is the priority? Did you find out?
Yun yung tanong or question na itatanong ko sa kanila. But kasi ako as a doctor, no, pag tiningnan ko, ano ba yung yes, basic yon, PPE bigay natin. Pero ngayon, ang problema, dapat talaga naka-procure na tayo ng mga kailangan natin, at least doon sa testing natin, yung mapabilis natin.
Yeah, but how can you file a bill on the supplemental budget if you don't know what's in the 2 billion 40 million?
Ang naging reference lang namin is that the PPE and repatriation. When we ask them, they can't give us the full details of it. So, I just have to understand the situation of DOH na hindi nila ma-itemize. But definitely, we'll have
But how can
opportunity.
you support a 2 billion 40 million supplemental budget
so they're
without
preparing
knowing
for
what's in
it. They're preparing for it. Meron akong initial na nakuha sa kanila, but it's more of yung health human resource, on the deployment, and then yan, mga testing kits na kailangan. But yun nga, yung more detailed pa, kailangan pa din talaga.
And when can you find that out?
I don't know if next week mag-call ng hearing ang Committee on Appropriation kasi it was referred already in the Committee on Appropriation.
Sana as soon as possible because
Yes,
this is of
yes,
immediate
yes,
concern.
yes.
All right. Congresswoman Angelina Helen Tan, good to meet you. Maraming salamat
Thank you
po sa
so
inyo.
much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.